Midnight Zephyr presents this horror and suspenseful story. Your feedback helps shape the next horror. What do you want to hear next? And subscribe so you don't miss the next night of nightmares. In the sleepy coastal town of Harbor's Edge, where jagged cliffs meet the restless sea, 17-year-old Mia lives with her widowed uncle in a weathered cottage overlooking the bay. The town is steeped in old maritime legends, whispers of shipwrecks and lost souls that haunt the hidden caves beneath the cliffs. Mia, an adventurous high school senior with a passion for photography, often escapes the monotony of her life by capturing the dramatic seascapes at dusk. Her closest friend, Lena, a bookish girl from the neighboring farm, shares Mia's curiosity about the unknown, fueled by late-night readings of ghost stories and urban myths. One foggy autumn evening during a weekend sleepover at Mia's cottage, the girls grow bored with board games and decide to embark on a daring midnight adventure. Motivated by a recent town rumor about glowing lights seen in the cliffside caves, supposedly tied to a century-old smuggling operation gone wrong, they sneak out with flashlights and Mia's camera, aiming to document proof of the supernatural. As they descend the slippery path to the beach, they encounter Old Man Harlan, a reclusive fisherman who lives in a shack nearby. He warns them sternly about the Whisperer, a legendary entity said to lure trespassers with eerie sounds, its pale, elongated form a remnant of drowned sailors fused with something otherworldly. Dismissing him as superstitious, the girls press on, laughing off his tales as they enter the damp, echoing caves. Mia and Lena explore the outer chambers, snapping photos of bioluminescent algae and ancient graffiti from smugglers. But as they venture deeper, the air grows colder, and an unnatural silence falls. They hear faint scratching, like nails on rock, and feel eyes upon them. Panic sets in when a shadow detaches from the walls, a tall, emaciated figure with skin like bleached bone, hollow eyes, and jagged features that seem to shift in the flashlight beam. It doesn't chase immediately. Instead, it mimics their voices, whispering fragments of their earlier conversation to disorient them. The wind howled through the narrow streets of Harbor's Edge, carrying the sharp tang of salt and seaweed from the churning Atlantic below. It was one of those autumn nights where the fog rolled in thick, like a living thing, wrapping around the old wooden houses and muffling the world. Mia Thompson stood at the window of her uncle's cottage, staring out at the silhouette of the lighthouse on the far cliff. Its beams swept across the bay in lazy arcs, a lonely sentinel against the dark. At 17, Mia had grown up in this town, a place where everyone knew your business and the sea dictated the rhythm of life. Her uncle, Jack, a gruff lobsterman with calloused hands and a perpetual squint from years on the water, had taken her in after her mother's disappearance. That was 8 years ago now. A boating accident, they said. But Mia never believed it. There were too many unanswered questions, too many whispers about that stormy night. Tonight, though, those memories felt distant. Lena Cartwright, Mia's best friend since elementary school, was sprawled on the faded couch in the living room, flipping through an old book of local legends. Lena was the quiet type, with curly brown hair always tied back and glasses that slipped down her nose when she got excited about a story. She lived on a small farm just outside town, where her parents raised chickens and grew vegetables that tasted like the earth itself. The girls had planned this sleepover for weeks, a break from the grind of senior year, with its endless college applications and part-time jobs at the diner. "Listen to this," Lena said, her voice dropping to a dramatic whisper as she read from the yellowed pages. "In the caves beneath the cliffs, the Whisperer waits. Born from the wreckage of the SS Meridian in 1892, it lures the unwary with echoes of their own voices, drawing them into the depths where the sea claims its due." She closed the book with a snap, her eyes wide behind her lenses. Creepy, right? And get this, people have been seeing weird lights down there lately, like glowing orbs floating in the fog. Mia turned from the window, a spark of interest lighting her face. She grabbed her camera from the table, a beat-up Nikon her uncle had given her for her birthday. Photography was her escape, a way to capture the beauty and mystery of the coast. "You mean the smuggling caves? I've heard the stories. Smugglers used them during Prohibition, hiding booze from the feds. But ghosts? Come on, Lena. It's probably just kids messing around with flashlights. Lena leaned forward, her expression serious. Or maybe not. Remember that tourist who went missing last summer? They found his backpack near the entrance, but no body. What if there's something real down there? The idea hung in the air, tempting like the pull of the tide. Mia felt a thrill run through her. The same restless energy that had gotten them into trouble before. Like the time they snuck into the abandoned cannery and nearly got caught by the night watchman. What if we checked it out? Tonight. The fog would make for amazing photos, all misty and atmospheric. Lena hesitated, biting her lip. Mia, it's almost 10. Your uncle's asleep upstairs and those cliffs are slippery as hell in the dark. That's what makes it fun, Mia replied with a grin. Come on, live a little. We'll take flashlights, stay close to the path. If we see anything weird, we bolt. After a moment's debate, Lena caved, her curiosity winning out. They bundled up in hoodies and jeans, slipping out the back door into the night. The fog was denser than Mia expected, swirling around their ankles as they made their way down the winding trail to the beach. The sound of waves crashing against the rocks below was a constant roar, drowning out their footsteps on the gravel. As they reached the bottom, a figure emerged from the mist. An old man with a lantern, his face weathered like driftwood. It was Harlan Briggs, the town's resident hermit. He lived in a ramshackle hut near the shore, surviving on fish and whatever the sea washed up. Rumors said he'd lost his family in a storm decades ago, and now he patrolled the beaches like a ghost himself. "What are you girls doing out here?" Harlan rasped, his voice rough from years of salt water and solitude. His eyes narrowed under bushy brows. "Ain't safe. The Whisperer's been active. Seen its lights myself, flickering in the caves. It don't like intruders." Mia exchanged a glance with Lena, stifling a laugh. "The Whisperer? That's just an old tale, Mr. Briggs. We're just taking a walk, maybe snap some pictures." Harlan shook his head, his lantern casting eerie shadows on his face. "Tale or not, stay away. It mimics voices, draws you in. Lost souls from the meridian, they say. Or worse, something the sea spit out that ain't human no more." He pointed a gnarled finger toward the cliffs. "Go home, before it hears you." The girls nodded politely, but as soon as Harlan shuffled away, they burst into giggles. "Okay, that was weird," Lena said, adjusting her backpack. "But kinda cool, like we're in a horror movie." "Exactly," Mia agreed. "Let's find those caves." They followed the shoreline, the pebbles crunching under their sneakers. The entrance to the caves was a yawning mouth in the cliff face, partially hidden by tide pools and seaweed. As they stepped inside, the air turned cool and damp, smelling of brine and decay. Their flashlights cut through the darkness, revealing walls slick with moisture and dotted with tiny glowing specks. "Bioluminescent algae," Mia explained, her voice echoing softly. For the first few minutes, it was exhilarating. They wandered through the outer chambers, Mia pausing to photograph strange formations. Stalactites dripping like fangs, old wooden crates half buried in sand, remnants of the smuggler's era. Lena read aloud from her phone, reciting bits of history she'd looked up earlier. Apparently the SS Meridian wrecked right off these cliffs. Over 100 souls lost. Survivors claimed they heard whispering from the water, calling their names. "Spooky," Mia said, snapping a shot of a rusted anchor chain. "But look at this light. It's perfect for moody shots." Deeper in, the caves narrowed, the ceiling lowering until they had to duck in places. The waves' roar faded to a distant murmur, replaced by the drip-drip of water. Then, a new sound, a faint scratching, like claws on stone. Mia froze, her beam swinging around. "Did you hear that?" Lena nodded, her face pale in the flashlight glow. "Yeah, probably just rats or something." But the scratching grew louder, closer, and then a whisper. It sounded like Mia's voice echoing back. "Let's find those caves. Spooky." The girls stared at each other, hearts pounding. "That was you, right?" Lena asked, her voice trembling. "No," Mia whispered. "We need to go, now." They turned to retreat, but the path seemed different, the fog from outside seeping in and disorienting them. That's when they saw it, a shadow peeling away from the wall, tall and unnaturally thin, its skin pale as moonlit foam. Sunken eyes like voids, no lips, just a slit of a mouth. It tilted its head and another whisper came, "Go home, before it hears you." Terror surged through them. Mia grabbed Lena's hand and they ran, flashlights bobbing wildly. The thing followed, its footsteps silent but its presence heavy, like a weight in the air. They darted through tunnels, lungs burning, until they burst into a small alcove. There, half hidden behind a boulder, was a glint of metal. Mia's light caught it, an old locket, tarnished but intact. She picked it up impulsively, opening it to reveal a faded photo of a woman with eyes just like hers. Her mother? But how? "No time," Lena gasped. "Keep moving." The subplot deepened here. Mia's mother had been a historian, obsessed with the Meridian wreck. She disappeared while researching the caves, her boat found empty. This locket, it had to be hers. Mia pocketed it, a mix of fear and determination flooding her. But the entity was close. They heard its growl, low and guttural, vibrating through the rock. In their panic, they took a wrong turn, the tunnel splitting. "This way," Mia shouted, but a loose stone gave way, and Lena slipped, tumbling into a side passage. "Lena!" Mia cried, shining her light down. Her friend was okay, but separated by a drop. "I'll find a way around." Alone now, Mia crept forward, the whispers intensifying. Fragments of her life, her mother's name, uncle's warnings. She hid in a crevice as the figure passed, dragging what looked like a bundle. Cloth? Bones? It paused, sniffing the air, its elongated fingers twitching. Meanwhile, Lena scrambled up, her flashlight revealing a huddled form in the shadows. "Who's there?" she called. A boy emerged, about their age, with disheveled hair and dirt-streaked clothes. "Shh, it's coming. I'm Kyle. Been hiding here from stuff at home." Kyle explained quickly. Runaway from an abusive dad, squatting in the caves for weeks. "That thing not a ghost? There was a chemical spill from a cargo ship 10 years ago. Mutated whatever lived down here. Maybe a person, maybe an animal. It's protective of its territory." Lena convinced him to help. He pulled out a crumpled map, sketched from memory. "This leads to the beach, but we gotta be quiet." They reunited with Mia just as the entity circled back. The three fled, Kyle limping from an old injury aggravated in the rush. Rocks tumbled behind them as they dislodged a weak section, causing a small collapse that buried the path. Dust filled the air, but they pushed on, emerging onto the foggy beach. Gasping for breath, they collapsed on the sand. "We made it," Mia said, clutching the locket. But Kyle glanced up at the cliffs. "Don't count on it. That thing, it remembers." Back at the cottage, they barricaded the doors, Kyle crashing on the couch while Mia developed her photos in the makeshift darkroom her uncle had set up. As the images emerged, horror struck. The entity was clear, but in the background, faint shapes, more figures watching, and one looked human, wearing modern clothes. "What does this mean?" Lena whispered. Mia shook her head, fear knotting her stomach. Outside, the fog thickened and a scratching began at the window. She checked the locket. It was gone from her pocket. Stolen or taken by something that followed them home. As dawn's first light pierced the mist, shadows stirred outside, multiple forms converging. The whisperer wasn't alone.